Hi everyone, welcome to Delta Resource Coaching. We're here to bring you unbelievable opportunities in the job market. We all know how the job market has been very funny, but we're here to help. With that being said, let's go right to it. So a brief introduction about myself. My name is Sals from Delta Resource Staffing, and we're here to bring you the job opportunities that you've been looking for. um, I have over a decade of experience within software development and designing. I've worked within the agile methodology, within the waterfall methodology, so I know a lot about software development, technical roles, functional roles, understanding requirements, translating requirements from a business terminology to technical terms. Of course, storing those requirements in a requirement traceability matrix or whatever tools you might be using. Could be Jira, could be Microsoft Azure, whatever tools you might be using. I'm very familiar with those kind of terms. Of course, I could play the role of a designer, developer, being very hands-on, and of course play an advisory role. I could also jump into the project management role, the program management role from an agile perspective, or even a waterfall perspective. I can play the role of a product owner as long as I understand the requirement, and also play the role of a business analyst. So trust me that I can guide you in this journey to getting your next best job. With that being said, we have jobs from Netflix, from GoFundMe, and from Pine Insurance. So let's start from General Motors. So this role is really talking about a commercial hardware sales manager. Think about it. What do General Motors do? The first thing for you to do is to understand what kind of industry this is. This is an automotive and energy industry, right? So they're looking for hardware sales manager. Don't let people fool you to say this is a program manager role. I've actually heard a couple of people try to, when they see manager, they think this is a project manager or program manager type role. Well, let me start by saying, what is the difference between a project manager and a program manager, right? A project manager manages project, which is a subset of a program. So a program manager will be managing multiple projects at the same time. That is the only difference between these two roles, right? So without diving deep into this, let's just go through this job description. The first thing that jumps out to me here is the fact that we need to be okay with 25 to 30% travel. What does that equate to in terms of a 12 calendar month or a year? So 25% to 30%, at least you should be able to travel once every 3 months. 12 divided by 4, which is 25% of the year, is 3. So every 3 months you should be available to travel. It could be Monday through Thursday, it could be Monday through Wednesday, it could be within the week, but that is something that you might want to talk to your hiring manager about, right? And then going down to the job description here, this sales manager would be responsible for driving commercial hardware sales across its 6 existing and new General Motor Energy customers, right? And of course, work closely with product managers to define the best commercial approach. So the word here is product manager. Who is a product manager? This is someone that actually, a product can be a service or it could be a physical thing. So from a physical thing or from a physical product standpoint, this product manager is that person that knows this product inside out, right? This person probably was involved in the production of this, or in this person was probably involved in the generation of this product from inception to go live or to finish, right? So this person knows that product inside out. Now, from a service standpoint, it could be someone that understands the business processes and the different teams that are involved in these business processes inside out. This commercial hardware sales manager would be working with this product manager to define the best commercial approach, because this manager, this product manager understands this product inside out. This role would also interface with internal stakeholders such as purchasing, marketing, strategy, legal, and privacy team to align corporate processes to deliver the ideal customer experience. Develop channel relationship with local and global partners, including solar companies. So this person would actually work with the team, with his or her team, to develop channel relationship with local and global partners. So before you join, understand that General Motors actually have a channel of distribution, meaning selling their product. So this person would be involved in fostering that relationship with the local and global partners that are already working with General Motors, and take that relationship from where it is to where General Motors would actually want it to be in the future. Support development of optimal pricing and financing strategies around warranty, financing, after sale needs of the customer. Additional description down here, let's jump into this, will be passion for closing deals and moving the dial. So this person, this is more of a nurture than a nature, right? This person needs to have that motivation to be able to close deal, be able to sell this product to customers. It could be a B2B, I'm not sure. I think this is a B2B. Demonstrate excellent interpersonal skills required. This person should be able to demonstrate interpersonal skills, effectively collaborate, motivate, and facilitate others in group situations. Desire to work in a complex and evolving environment, and to bring an innovation mindset. So this person needs to think out of the box and needs to be able to work in a complex, evolving, and even a fast-paced environment. Excellent written and verbal communication skills, team player attitude, internally and externally, and of course we spoke about the willingness or the ability to travel 20 to 30% of the time. And here is the big thing here. The expected base compensation for this role is 124,500 to 190,692. Now let me tell you this. I've noticed that also as an Americans, we do not negotiate. You can always negotiate. And of course, when you're doing multiple rounds of interviews, you might even have a higher paying role, but then you might like General Motors better, and you could use that offer letter to actually talk to General Motors. They can match you. Now, with that being said, this is a base salary, right? You can also request for what I call a performance-based bonus, or and a sign-on bonus, right? You just have to be reasonable with it. Performance-based bonus is going to be rated based on your yearly review or quarterly review or media review, however that company does their review. And then you can also get a one-time sign-on bonus, which is going to be paid to you maybe 3 months into your employment, however the company wants to structure it. But there's always a caveat to that you might not, or you will not be leaving the company within a period of time, and if you do, you would have to pay them back that sign-on bonus. But I'm telling you this, be ready to negotiate. Don't just go with whatever you see here. Always be open to negotiating. Here it says actual base compensation within the identified range will vary based on factors relevant to the position. So here it could be that where you are, it's a state with a lower cost of living, so they might not pay you up to the 190. Maybe people in New York, California might get this rate. But if you live in like Texas, no state taxes or things like that, they might, not pay you above up to this. But again, remember, always negotiate. Bonus potentials. An incentive pay program offers payout based on company's performance, job level, and individual performance. So these are the three metrics that actually makes up that bonus I spoke to you about when I said performance-based bonus. So always be ready to negotiate. With that being said, jump right in, apply for this job, read their benefits guide, and this job is a remote position, so you can actually do this job from anywhere, right? Okay, and then the next big one is the external support engineer for Netflix, right? This falls within my skill set, so I can tell you that anyone who's willing to learn, anyone who has a little bit of coding background, anyone who understands how to read C++ should actually apply for this role. I think this is a very good role. So here it talks about external support engineer. The external support engineer is responsible for helping and supporting external content creation teams. So I have to tell you this, I currently work for a content creation company, so I know exactly what this role entails. And this person will use the tools provided by the internal development team. They are the bridge between the content team and the tools engineering team. The content team is really nothing but the business team, right? The product team. And of course, the tools engineering team could be the people who are directly implementing that tool based on the business team requirement. They are the first point of contact when content team runs into issues with tools and filter issues and feedback to the tools team. So the support engineer here, think of it as a support level 1, right? You would be the first point of contact. There's no need to bother the implementation team who is implementing that tool in the back end at the very first step. So you being a support engineer, you should know that tool at least from an intermediary standpoint, right? So when they reach out to you, you now start to debug that tool to understand what the problem is. Why are they facing this issue? Is it a glitch? Is it a defect from that application that is being used? Or is this a bug fix that needs to be fixed, right? So you kind of analyze what is going on. If it is within your willpower, you can fix it. If not, then you now kind of escalate it to the tools engineering team. This is what this role really entails. And your responsibilities would be to provide technical support to content/external team in regards to the use of content tools, create reference materials, and provide training to get external teams up to speed with the tool set. So this line here, this line item really talks about the tools engineering team would be involved in the initial implementation of this tool based on the business requirement. Now, when they are done, you being the support engineer in this role will have to come into a training role to understand what was built and build kind of a reference material, right, that you would use to train maybe the pilot users, or if it's a small company, the entire users, and then they would follow this reference material and walk through the content that you've created to actually understand exactly what was built by being hands-on, right? And when this is done, then you now assume the role of debugging possible issues. So if there are issues based on this reference material, like creating a record, you might go into the application, being the end user, they create a record and they see some issues. Being that you created this reference material, you can quickly debug that and insert the right data or the right record. And in a situation where you cannot do that, then you can reach out to the tools engineering team and they can fix that. And then this point talks about solving and debugging possible issues with tools and workflows to quickly resolve issues for the user. So this is during the training and of course when that product actually goes live. Escalate more complex or problematic issues to the tool development team. If you remember when I spoke to you about this particular point, that you are the first point of contact doesn't mean you are expected to fix everything. If you cannot fix complex issues, you can escalate it to the tool development team. And of course, you should understand using Jira. It's very basic. If you do not have experience with Jira, Microsoft Azure, CMC, requirement traceability metrics, these are just tools that are used to store the technical requirement. And of course, there are different phases. It could be in a backlog, it could be in the current sprint, it could be in the sprint that had ended. You're using this to make sure that you're not overworking or overloading the team or even a resource, right? So you can just go on YouTube and watch a video on Jira, right? If you do not have the experience, but it's very basic, it's very straightforward, it's something you can learn. And I will tell you this: if you do not have an Agile or Scrum Master certification, I'll tell you this would be, you can even do it after you get a role related to this, but it's a very nice to have certification. Go get it. It's a 1 weekend kind of boot camp and you get your foundation, Scrum Foundation certification, and all these things would now become a playground to you. Now, advocate for tools, workflow improvement, and suggestions from external teams. Partner with other engineering teams to develop tools, or engineers to develop tools and processes that improve efficiency and quality. Guide or lead cross-disciplinary dialogues to drive features from initial concept to completion. So let me just try to see if I can explain this to you, right? So within an organization, yes, you are the support resource, but sometimes you might be brought into discussions to say, okay, how can we improve this tool? What can we do? And if you're a very good resource, you can actually be promoted from just being a support resource to be part of the tool engineering team, right? So be ready to have discussions with other teams, internal or external, to drive features from initial concept to completion. So whenever a requirement comes up, you might be pulled in, maybe playing the role of a business analyst here. Just sit down, understand the business requirement, ask questions. How would you want the system to look like when this application goes live, right? So at that point in time, because you have a background knowledge of the tool, you can play the role of a business analyst. And of course, within the organization, you can even grow to become a product owner because you understand how their businesses are being done, right? Exemplify reliability, accountability, and professionalism in all work-related interactions. Skills and ability. So let me highlight this one. The ability to read and understand C# code is very important. I know earlier on where I called it C++. That was my bad. It's C#, right? You can actually go on Udemy and buy a course with $22 or lower. You can buy a course. Udemy is not sponsoring this video by any means, and no publisher on Udemy is sponsoring this video, so I'm not going to head on to Udemy and show you any C# video, but you can go on Udemy, search for C# for beginners or introduction to C#, get to understand how to read and understand the C sharp codes, right? That's all you need. Of course, with you looking for a new job or a career change, it's not going to be straightforward. But of course, for you to break the next level, you have to break a glass. And when you break a glass, you have to bleed. What is that blood? It's your time, right? So put in your time. You could apply for the job, but do a crash course on understanding how to read a C sharp code. Again, udemy.com. Just go there, look for C sharp for beginners, and do a crash course on it just to understand. It's not that complex. Please do not forget to hit the subscribe button and the like button so you do not miss any valuable videos that I will be bringing to you from a job update standpoint. With that being said, talk to you soon, my friends.